Chelley and Ace, the Love Island journey.
I knew Chelley and Ace were getting sent home. I literally said it.
As you guys already know, Chelley and Ace were recently just voted out. And, you know, honestly, at this point, I'm not surprised. There is nothing that this show, you know, the show has depleted all of my surprises when it comes to the show. I do have a theory when it comes to Love Island, and I know some other people, you're going to hear some other theories from other people, but I genuinely think that when it comes to this show, the producers are trying to make up for all the bad that they did throughout the show, so they're just giving the people what they want. Remember when we made all those TikTok videos and said, oh, you know, Ace is not going to get our money, you know, the Ace is not going to get our money, Chelley will never see our money? I think that the producers actually listened. The producers were in the comment sections. I think the producers were in the comment sections, and they're kind of trying to appease America, and they're slowly just cutting out all the people that we never really liked. Because the people that are left, for the most part, are people that, you know, that have fans. I think if Alondra and Nick win, they would completely destroy the show, though. Because they are beyond friendship. Like, it's almost cringe to watch them act like something is there, you know? And I know that there's a community out there that's rooting for them, but, like, come on, like, let's be for real. Like, if there was a no $100,000 on the line, I think Nick would have left with Sierra, personally. But I strongly think that the show is trying to, this is my theory, the show is trying to make up for all the wrongs that they did, and they're trying to come back. And that's my theory. Let's take a look at what other people have to say.
Say what everyone's afraid to say about this Love Island season. The comments are amazing. Production lost control of this season to the viewers. It was too early for Amaya and Brian and the Hideaway. Olandria should have been gone home. No one, not a one, has shown actual interest in her. Huda ruined the season. Brian really doesn't care for Amaya. Huda should have went home a long time ago. I couldn't be around Amaya too long. Social media ruined this season. Huda has no business on Love Island. She has personal issues and she needs help to resolve them before she can be ready for a relationship. They should have never saved Huda. Ace and Chelley aren't fooling me. No one this season was genuine except Clark and Taylor, honestly. Taylor and Clark are the most genuine connection in the entire villa. Olandria doesn't actually like Nick romantically. She's just acting to stay on the show. Huda is way too toxic to be receiving the support she's getting. I 100% agree. Huda is self-centered and manipulative. Taylor and Clark should not have gone home. Nick Olandria is forced. I don't want any of these people to win, honestly. Jeremiah was really mistreated, bullied, and abused during the show, and he was likely experiencing real anxiety, which was hard to watch.
Ace and Chelley went home. Why are we surprised? Have we all forgotten that the first few weeks of the show, everyone kept saying that Ace treated it like Big Brother? America did not forget how manipulative Ace was being. So to me, it comes to no surprise that he was next on the chopping block. On top of that, he got rid of Jeremiah. And I honestly think that was his biggest mistake, was getting rid of Jeremiah, because now Jeremiah is talking to America directly. He has 1 million followers, has his little book club, and everyone's realizing like, oh, Jeremiah's actually not that bad. What is Ace talking about? Going back to the storyline of Ace is manipulating everything because Jeremiah is actually this great person, not whatever Ace painted him out to be. Remember what they said? Keep your friends close and your
This kind of supports my theory of the show is trying to do cleanup right now. I think the show is starting to think like, okay, they're thinking endgame. They're thinking when we have a winner or someone that runs away with 100K, what are we going to do as far as damage control? Who's the most likely? And I think Amaya would be the best thing to give to the American public. I honestly think that our vote is like 40% of what they actually decide. I think that they're actually controlling a lot more than this. And they're just blaming America because it's harder to quantify. Like, all right, so if America voted Ace and Chelley off, like, and not Nick and Alondra, like, how do you quantify that? Like, how, if you get mad and say, oh, show me the results, like, are they really going to show the results? No, they're not. And if they do, they're going to just show like a graph that they just made up. You know what I mean? I think it's way easier to just say America has voted. That's just my opinion.
enemies closer. Ace should have let Jeremiah stay in the villa. And the biggest criticism that I'm seeing about the two of them is that they don't really like each other. Or at least Chelley doesn't really like Ace. And what I've been seeing is that they keep pointing back at Casa Amor. Like, why does it feel like Chelley's trying to spin the block with Chris when she's supposed to be locked in with Ace? Why is she getting mad at Huda when she's supposed to be locked in with Ace? Personally, I don't have an opinion whether Chelley likes Ace or not. You know, like, people show love differently. But that's what I've been constantly seeing. It's like, Chelley, why are you trying to have a roster? Like, let Chris go and lock him with Ace already. And the Hannah situation, I don't think helped her either. Because if you think about it, Ace and Chelley have been locked in since day one. And they attacked, I think, 2 different couples. Hannah's relationship and then Jeremiah and Huda's relationship at the beginning. So it's like, you know, y'all are coming across as very hypocritical. Why are you guys able to lock in and not explore other connections while these other 2 couples can't? And you know what? I can see why they don't like Ace, because they feel like he's treating it like Big Brother. So any big idea or date or, even the sand thing that he does, people are going to be like, is this Ace being Ace, like wanting to, build something long lasting with Chelley, or is this Ace trying to manipulate the audience? And so I feel like that's what viewers are getting, is like the battle of like, is Ace being real or not? Because he's played so many games in the beginning that they don't feel like they can trust him.
Let me set the record straight right now. We met once outside of a club in New York, you know what I mean? And the world is very, very, very small. Like, I even knew other people in the villa being there. So no, we did not date.
And obviously we did exchange social media.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I'm so confused about what this uproar is about. Because if you go on my page, you'll see Ace in my comments. If you go on his page, you'll see me in his comments. Like, even those post those funny videos that I love. So it's like this whole craziness of like, we were dating, they knew each other. I'm like, well, damn. Well, shit, I wish I knew we were dating.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
That's where fans were confused.
No, they were crazy. And even situations like when Amaya came in, I was looking at her, I'm like, she looks so familiar. Then by the time we got to sit down, she's like, oh my God. She's like, I know you. And we're friends on Instagram. We've talked on Instagram. So it's like, even Andreina was another person that I knew. So it was a joke in there that, oh, Chelley knows everybody. And it's just one of those things, like, we really all just knew each other. Like, some people were connected in the weirdest ways.
Yeah.
Landry mama is fine as hell. That's what she get it from. She get it from her mama. From the moment she walked up, that thing was thinking. And I love their relationship together. You know what? That is not what we're here for. Ain't no way in hell y'all sent Chelley and Ace home. No way in hell we're going into the final 4 without anybody being closed off. No real couples, just a whole bunch of friends hanging out. Bro, Chris is miserable as hell. He wants to get out of that villa with Huda. He is miserable. He did not want Huda to meet his mama now. When they asked what his peak was for the season, he didn't mention Huda at all. He said playing basketball with the guys and seeing his mom.
Poor Chris, man. I feel sorry for Chris. I know that people have grace for Huda, and even I had grace for Huda at one point. But it just goes to show you kind of how damaged she is, how much emotional repair that she needs. That it almost shows you in real life. I remember someone saying that there's an example of how this show is a reflection of real dating today. And it just goes to show you that you should not date for looks, because this is the exact reason. Huda is gorgeous, but at the same time, like, she's so emotionally damaged that even with a good guy, like a good emotionally intelligent guy, like, she will suck the life out of anything, because she, you know what I mean? She's like a black hole emotionally. She needs to do the repair. And I think this is a great example of how when you don't fix yourself, you can't fix other. You can't help anyone else. You got to help yourself before you can be in other people's space, because you will just destroy them. Yeah, man, she needs to be out of the villa for sure.
And then say, yeah, that's it. After she just told him she likes attention and to be reassured. That man is miserable as hell. And Iris' mama don't even like Pepe. She don't want Iris with Pepe. They didn't have no kind of family time together. Nick and Alandria parents are cool as hell. However, they are cool like best friends families are. When your best friend and your mom and daddy, they all best friends together, yeah, that's what they're giving. It's not giving relationship. Everybody at this point is talking about they're going to see where things go. We're going to see where things lead. I thought it was about a relationship. We're sitting here voting for people who got situationships and they're miserable as hell. Like, we have lost the whole plot this entire season. First, it was Taylor and Clark getting sent home with the strongest connection. Now Chelley and Ace. Like, I don't even want to vote no more. This don't make no sense.
I knew Chelley and Ace were getting sent home. I literally said it. I knew when nobody really was talking about them. Like, nothing interesting was going on. I just saw a video somebody was saying, oh, they're going to be the winners because they be planning dates and all types of... No, baby. There's levels to this game. It's just funny watching these people. It's just like, oh, how the tables have turned. Everybody wanted Huda and Chris to go home. And guess what? they still here. And that's why I say, like, it's levels to this game, baby. Unfortunately, Ace and Chelley don't have a strong support system, not support system, but like, they don't have a strong fan base. That's what I'm saying, it's levels to the game. And everybody who whining and crying about, like, oh, you guys turned this into a popularity contest. Oh well, too bad you joined the wrong team, man. Let me stop. I'm not trying to make any enemies out here. But all jokes aside,
It's crazy. This is how people really think. And I think the show promoted the popularity contest. Like, we're like, the show was the puppet and we're the puppet master. We're also being played on the show just like everyone else. Like, when they have people vote, and from my understanding, I haven't voted myself, so please let me know in the comments if it's like this, but they ask you who your favorite is. Like, who's your favorite? They're not asking you who should be voted off, from my understanding. So if you're voting from the stance of who your favorite is, people that have fan clubs like Alondra, Sierra at one point, Huda, Chelley at one point, like, they're just voting their fan bases. They're not actually voting based off of who gets voted off next. And then that's why the votes always throw us, because they created a popularity contest. They created this high school dynamic. But I feel like it's none of our faults as the viewers. It was the show's fault to begin with, having us vote that way. What do you guys think? Am I wrong? Like, let me know in the comments. Like, I really want to know.
I would love to see Huda win. Based off all the hate that she's gotten just from people in the villa, hate from everybody, it would be nice to see her come up on top and win it all. And it's just like, oh, how the tables have turned. Anyone else I would vote on probably would be Amaya. She's just been the sweetest, nicest person overall throughout the whole but of course, I'll be even happier if Huda won.
Yeah, Peacock, I think you got a lot of firing to do, because how the hell did the longest lasting couple of this season get booted out and not even make it to Final Four? Like, I was going to vote for Nick and Landria, but they just started. The fact that Ace and Chelley have been going strong for as long as they have, and they didn't even make it to Final Four, it's just very telling in the ways that things have been edited. It's very telling in also the online discourse, because they're just as much to blame for this shit. The ways that brands, influencers, and the fans, the weird ass fans, have talked about Chelley specifically this season, when she's done nothing but have a disagreement with somebody else, and they're good now, by the way. Have a disagreement with another Islander, and now all of a sudden you don't think that she's even worthy of being in the top 4. I think that says a lot about people and the way that they've been moving. Obviously, everybody can have their favorites. Everybody should vote for their favorites. But I'm going to be honest, I think the discourse did play a part in this happening, because it doesn't make any sense. This is Love Island. Like, are we forgetting the plot? Love Island. All these other couples are very, very new, and yes, there's potential in them. Like I said, I'm still going to vote for Nick and Landria, and now I'm definitely going to vote for Nick and Landria. But there was a reason why I was going back and forth between Nick and Landria and Ace and Chelley, because they have a strong couple. And I thought that was the point of this show. What am I missing here? This is actually ridiculous.
I have another theory where I think season 6 ruined everything for season 7. Like, I think season 6 was just way too good. It was way too good, and now season 7 is just in shambles, because, you know, I think America in general are desperate for actual connections. There are so many TV shows that talk about destroying connections, destroying friendships. I mean, like, god damn, can we just get a show that actually brings people together in a healthy way? Healthy is the key word. Just a healthy way. Can we get that? I don't know.
Okay, I have a wild theory, but just hear me out for a second. These Love Island producers and these casting producers have access to a lot of information. They do a lot of digging prior to selecting candidates, right? What if, just hear me out, what if they had been sitting on this? They had been sitting on this Sierra information, right? And when Nick and Alandria got voted off and they set up the date, because it's so clear and so apparent that they're reading social media. They're like, okay, see, Nick and Alandria are the favorites. People want them together. There's a secret thing. We have to get them together. We have to have them as winners for whatever reason. It was generational, whatever. They're like, we got to have this couple, right? And they keep seeing the theories. Nick doesn't really like her. They want to have strong winners, okay? What if after Nick and Alandria decided on their own, because they can't intervene in this sense, what if Nick and Alandria decided on their own that they don't want to be together? They were like, we have to do something that makes that they have to pick each other. We have to set it up like this. And so they're like, yo, let's leak this info that we have. We seen that old post. Maybe we post it from an account, we boost it, we put the engagement behind it, and we pump it until it becomes a thing and it appears to be like a public outcry, but it's really us all along because we want her gone. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
So this is not my usual content, but I have to share my thoughts on this or I will explode before the end of season 7 of Love Island. Okay. If you've been watching Love Island, stick around because I want to know what you guys think. I think there was a secret plan hatched up by Huda. I think she took it to Chelley first. And I think she did not want to leave Casa single. She went into Casa single and she did not want to leave single. That other guy who was like, I want a submissive woman. She was like, well, everybody knows that's not me. And so she's like, what am I going to do? Right. So I think she approaches Chelley. And she's like, hey, Chelley, I know you still probably like Ace, and I see you vibing with Chris, but listen to me here. If you pick Ace, then I can pick Chris, and then we can both keep staying on the show. And I'm not going to get in the way of your connection with Ace. And then after after that coupling, then you can pursue both connections still. I'm totally fine with that. And she was like, be a girl's girl and help me out. And so Chelley was like, okay, I'll do that. And so she picks Ace, right? And then, like, as soon as she did pick Ace, she was, like, hanging out with Ace because they were coupled up. And Huda was hanging out with Chris because they were coupled up. And, like, if you watch it there, she's talking to Ace and whatever, but, like, she's not super into him. And she's like, I wonder what Chris is doing. Now, this is my theory. I think that Chelley was going to pick Chris. If given the chance without Huda's interference, I think Chelley would have picked Chris. I think Huda influenced Chelley to pick Ace under the guise that she could still have Chris. But I think Huda always intended to pursue a full connection with Chris and couple up with him and stay coupled with him. And that theory makes everything make sense. You know, as far as them talking about a plan, as far as Chelley getting upset. And, you know, when Huda was like, that's because I was interested in Chris. She goes, what? Like that was not part of their previous discussions, was her genuinely being interested. And that's also why Elandria would be like, well, they were making out. Like she was telling on them because that would mean that the assumption would be that they weren't going to make out, right? Like, why would anybody be surprised by her kissing somebody that she was coupled up with unless there was something different going on? It also explains why Sierra was asking, you know, is this a genuine connection? And he was saying, like, yeah, it is. But he started to say, but the original plan, and then Sierra cuts him off and she's like, okay, then do that or whatever, then show that. But what was the original plan? Like, anybody think about that? Like, what was he going to say? The original plan, what? He said the original plan was to pursue Chelley until she approached me with a deal. Like, if you go back and watch all of it again, and the way that Chelley acts with Ace, the way that Chelley's looking at Chris, and even the way that Huda is acting, like she's acting like so wingman girly, you know what I mean? Like when they're making out in the like outfits or whatever, and she's like, yeah, I get it, you know? Sorry. But I'm just saying, like, she was, like, over the top, and she's, like, over the top, happy and bubbly with Chris, and, like, now, most recently, we've seen her being, like, I'm gonna say things that make you upset, and I'm gonna, you know, criticize the outfit that you pick. Like, she's picking at him. She went from, like, overjoyed to have his attention to picking at him. Real quick.
What do you guys think? Does this theory have any validity to it? I mean, I think it does kind of explain a lot of the confusion that Chelley had. And us on the outside not knowing the plan, it'll explain why we were just so crazy about it. Like, why are you so mad, Chelley? You know? If it makes sense if there was a deeper plan. Now, you guys tell me what's up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Definitely subscribe. There's a lot of people that watch that don't subscribe. I definitely want to build my channel up. But if you want some more, I will revene when the next episode drops. And of course, I can't wait to see what the reunion has to say and who the hell will win this. I think that all we have left is kind of theories because, I mean, well, like, I don't know. I'm very unmotivated when it comes to seeing who the winner will be, because it's all over the place. You know, I'm not even as invested as I was in the beginning and the middle of this entire show. So let me know. Do you guys still have that drive in you to see it through? Take care, y'all.